Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting and everything and amazing Propagandacast with me, your host, ImperialDane, the one, the only master propaganda hero, psych defender of the fatherland, offer to another glorious, wondrous, and near-magical 1v1 on Pachino Stalemate. In the north stands Punisher, 1648, we'll just call him Punisher. Fighting here for the Wehrmacht, oh, not for America, freedom, democracy, here with the 41st Infantry Division, tasked with seizing this tactically vital township in the south, stands the German army under the command of the ImperialDane himself, me. Fighting here with the 15th Panzer Grenadier Division. 3rd Panzer Grenadier Company, trying to break through, as I really like breakthrough. Down Pioneers Grenadiers, we got special operations, meanwhile here from Punisher with a fast weasel. Up north, we got the Scouts moving forward here as well for freedom and democracy, full up with some riflemen. And as always, a big hearty thanks to my patron supporters who helped keep the Propagandacast running through thick and thin with their generous support. 2 thumbs up to all those wonderful people. In the center, Grenadier moving up to secure here the center fuel point. We got the Pioneers rushing northwards meanwhile. Otherwise, fairly steady approaches there. Fairly steady approaches. Pioneers current terrain here. 2nd Grenadiers on the way. Ralph Squad moving forwards here. Weasel basic ground points here. We'll probably go for 30 cal as soon as he's got it connected. It obviously does add a fair amount of firepower here to this little tracked reconnaissance vehicle. Center there, almost secured by the Grenadiers. Up north, Pioneers pushing forwards. We're into the Scouts here. 2nd Grenadier squad ready here. Pioneers taken by the southern high munitions point here. Steady advance in the south. It continues here from Mr. Punisher. Actually, no upgrade there, which is interesting. There you go. First shots for up north here. Scouts versus the Pioneers here. Up by the northern victory munitions point here. Finding an old disused tractor here. Left in the fields. Grenadiers securing the center, sandbagging in there. Dispatching troops northward to assist there. South side almost got the munitions point here. And there we go. Do get the 30 cal there being mounted to the Weasel now. Rushing in northwards here. Pioneers ultimately, though, forced back. The Scouts taking no casualties, but they do take a fair amount of damage here. Weasel pushing into the center here. Grenadiers pushing for the fuel point. Both sort of just narrowly missing each other, but there you go. Spotting each other. 3rd Grenadier squad on the way. Can start upgrading 1 Grenadier squad. There's the MP40s, and there we go in the south. Rifleman spot on the Pioneers, and the Pioneers just get out of there before they get met with a full fusillade of lead in their faces. Up north, the Scouts are very easily pushed back here, but the Grenadiers no match for that many Germans with that many guns. MP40s being added to the Grenadier, and we can see it just Punisher rushing straight for the southern field point here, looking to slow down the German fuel income. 3rd Grenadier squad out here. And on a map like Pachino, I will go for an additional machine gun. This isn't around the coastline, so I'll go for the 3 Grenadier, 1 MP42 build here. That calls up a bunch of MP40s. There you go, quick harassment here by Punisher again, looking to mess with the fuel income, rushing for the building here, right in front of the Grenadiers here, getting into the building. I should have seen this coming, tried to make a rush for it, I did not. Sharp move there by Punisher. Sending seized up the Americans, Pioneer moving towards that. Falling a bit back here towards the south, trying to get into some light cover against the rifleman there. Killing Carl there. And the center we've got Route Squad, 2 Pioneer squads, up north Grenadiers, I think running to the same Scout squad again. Oh, that's actually a first Grenadier squad. Actually, it's retreating across the entire front line here, interestingly enough. Perhaps he was expecting more MP40s being added there, which wasn't going to happen. Meanwhile, bringing up the MU42. Grenadiers down, take some loss here from the right side of the building. Weasel there getting pursued by the Grenadier. And I'm actually probably going to go here for fairly fast infantry officer quarters this time around. I mean, I will go for it because, again, this many MP40 Grenadiers and all the other Tier 1 serious stuff, you definitely want that upgrade out there, find. But I might be going for it a bit faster than usual. Going up here on the fuel point here, sandbagging in there, trying to mess with my opponent's fuel income, obviously, slow down his economy as he tries to slow down mine. Collabing the northern point here. Sandbagging in the south. Pioneers falling back, obviously, just there to, like, mess with the fuel point, not going to expect to hold it. And there you go. Fairly fast infantry officer quarters, even slowing down here the acquisition of the Panzer Grenadier Company to achieve that particular goal. There you go, MP40 Grenadiers going out again once more for the Faserland. There's a Maschinenpistole in 40. Rifleman pushing forwards here. Got northern point secured, so that's 2 high munitions point under my control. This obviously means I could technically get a lot of munitions, in theory, a lot of MP40s. Interesting enough, I'm not quite too fast on upgrading my other grenadiers, but now here at the 5-minute mark, roughly, I do get Veterans 1 on all of my units. So that's obviously a bit of a boost there for me. Meanwhile, opponent, though, is rushing straight for the motor pool. Punisher also going for a breakneck pace there in terms of teching. And it's looking like hit one of those particular weaknesses the Wehrmacht does suffer from, which is fast light vehicles, like a Greyhound here, can be a significant headache, depending on the situation here. So this could get a bit awkward for me. We got the captain getting grenaded, losing not quite the captain himself, but one of his best friends, his buddy Bob. And we got the Weasel-led Veterans 1 steadily approaching Veteran 2, in fact. Up north, Victor 1 being seized here. So far, got a nice lead here. Weasel moving forward here. Right into the MG42. And then moving away from it. Sen being seized by the scouts here. Got the motor pool up here. Could probably push for a relatively fast Greyhound. Meanwhile, got the Panzer Grenadier Company up, but can't say push for any tech. I'd have to go for a Pack 40 then to have like a decent chance against that. North side here, Riflemen pushing forwards here, rapidly grabbing as much territory as they can, and again, also looking to, of course, hit that fuel point. Again, slowing down my ability to push for armored vehicles. More MP40s being upgraded. If you need those MP40s against the armored cannon. Greyhound there, halfway done here for Mr. Punisher, heading for the northern fuel point here. Machine gun could go up in the munitions point, by the way. Sending seized versus the Grenadier again, or at least attempted seized. Go. Got all of my Grenadiers corps now equipped with the MP40. Forming up a more, significant assault force. Not say Panzer Grenadier level, but, pretty decent. And again, with infantry officer quarters, they can hit Veteran 2 and Veteran 3 higher, which is typically a very good thing. Tank here from Sail Prongs, and I completely forget about these Pioneers. They get absolutely, well, removed from the face of this earth. We also got a 30 cal out here, and this is actually, I believe, Punisher utilizing the Weasel here to lay down support weapons for his men to grab. There you go, Greyhound out. Up north, we got the Grenadiers Rifle Squad here. Gonna chuck some grenades, force them out into the open. And force retreat here. Weasel meanwhile pursuing up here, heading down the machine gun as well here. Punisher turning much more offensive now, and of course, I go for the Pack 40 because I don't really have any options. We do have the support elements up, but I'm still some time away from any Stoogs here versus Punisher, and again, him trying to hit some of the fuel points on the side here, of course, has helped, ensure that his Greyhound has a bit more room before it has to worry about something that can actually hunt it down. North, the infantry keeps up the pursuit here for the 15th Panzer Grenadier Division. Steadily advancing here through the broken landscape. Greyhound, of course, being rushed northwards. Pack 40 almost there, but not quite. Digging in with northern nations. There you go. Panzer up, can only fit ready, but there you go. Greyhound getting up behind the Grenadiers. Counterfasting and utilize what few sandbags left here to maybe buy some time. Down to the point neutral, perhaps. But no, I just end up retreating, actually. As the Grand Canals make a real big mess of my Grenadiers. South, machine gun pioneer saying south. We've got a 30 cal right there from Mr. Punisher there. Grenadiers themselves the captain. Enforcing healing here. Grand falling back for repairs in the center of Grenadiers, making sure the captain. Sending him off there. So yeah, the Grand really big swing there for my opponent. Allow him to just get very good map controlling against me. A bit of an edge here. Weasel also falling back here. I wonder if he's going to lay down more support weapons here. Certainly not impossible. South here, machine gun rounded over the Grenadiers, machine gun and the Pioneers. Steady push here. We got a Rifle Squad hold up here. This is where it'd be a good idea for me to consider some Panzer Grenadiers in the near future, but at this point my focus is very much on the Stug to help deal with that Greyhound. Meanwhile, there we go, we do actually have a 30 cal more here from Punisher, and we got an M24 Chaffee from Punisher. Northern point being seized, clearly expecting something armored coming his way to deal with the Greyhound. He goes for the M24 Chaffee light tank, which is meant to serve as a replacement for the Stuart light tank. There you go, catching the last one with the Grenadiers here. Ripping through the MP40s, and the Americans are still overcome here for the power of Deutschland. Meanwhile, quickly pulling in here with the mechanized column. Greyhound backed up by the Weasel here. Pack 40 sort of at the ready here. Great shot here for that 40. Grenadiers rushing in with a Panther fast home to me. Give a chance here to finish off the Greyhound. Infantry pouring in here up north. We got Rascal flanking the Pack 40 here. Best spot for the overall here. I'm a bit too spread out actually with some troops up north as well here. 30 Celts. He's actually just seemingly moving them all to like kind of a sort of the same formation here, making it hard for me to use my infantry against him. Pack 40 sitting up here. Chaffee at the front line. Weasel on the flank here. Pack shoots, misses the Chaffee there. Meanwhile, infantry still pressuring the flank of my Pack 40. Southern point used by the Pioneers. Machine gun in trouble. Stuke is on the wake and he's forced to retreat here. Turning around the machine gun to try and give the Pack a chance to escape here by dealing with this flanking infantry. Though, of course, that means there's a risk of losing my machine gun in return here. Now we got the Chaffee coming up here. Pack gets in the Weasel here. Very hectic here. Very messy situation for me. Really nasty push, but effective push by my opponent, and the Pack here finally gets a hit on the M29 on 24 Chaffee. Panzer gun on the way here, but Pack goes down, and there's a good chance to lose the machine gun here. End up losing, well, a lot here without really doing enough damage to make it worthwhile. So I probably should have treated the machine gun in the first place in the end. So either way, this is a big tactical win for my opponent. Pushed me off the south. Got my Pack. At least the machine gun did survive there, surprisingly enough. But yeah, not great for me here. I tried to sort of clear up the Pack 40 from the Grenadiers. We got the 30 cal there at the job. Stug pushing forwards. Adding the Penalty machine gun because that is important. Still got the north side here. My opponent did focus heavily on the south. We got the Pack being grabbed again by the rifleman there. Grenadier pushing in, catching the 30 cal out in the open here. Alongside the Stug, he just retreats. Panzer Grenadier arriving. Buckling up here the front line of the 15th Panzer Grenadier Division in this sector. Meanwhile, 41st Infantry Division there, reorganizing. Big swarm of infantry moving in. They're trying to grab that Pack 40, but there's so many riflemen and just a lack of machine guns means I can't really get it back, even as I'm here actually merging the Grenadiers with a Pack. There's just like a swarm of infantry here, just killing the crew. And also got the 30 cal on the flank here, so it becomes very difficult to get the Pack out. Then unfortunately, grenade assault in the midst of his infantry. Almost runs into it, actually. But fortunately for him, he does get out of there in time. Unfortunately for me, he gets out of there in time. Center, we got the Panzer moving up here, ready to try and flank here. Stug, meanwhile, just ripping through the infantry. If I had Veterans 1 here, obviously could have gone for a point-blank blast, maybe, but alas. Stug, though, just ripping through those Amerikaner here with its machine gun and its main gun. Machine gun forced retreat. In the end, I do get the Pack 40 back here, despite everything. In fact, I wipe out his machine gun here. So suddenly the situation went from like being heavily favored for him to being more favored for me. Quite the turn of events, really. Second Stug being brought up here. Meanwhile, back at the base here, off him, we got the Chaffee being repaired. We got another Chaffee on the way here. Things are heating up. Packs, machine guns there being hauled off. At least attempted to hold up. And we still got the Stug, of course, providing fire support here. Serving for the fatherland. Relaxed enthusiasm in that Stug crew. That's it! So I'm holding the line for now, but my opponent, of course, keeps up the pressure. He's got those 30 cals here. In fact, he just keeps adding in more 30 cals with that Weasel. Like, this is the first time I've really seen anyone use that ability on the Weasel so much. But this guy is all about those Weasel machine guns. Chaffee's pushing forward here. Greyhound here. Stug's a bit isolated. And he's going hard forward here. Rushing in for freedom and democracy. We got the other Chaffee up here. Could get Pantherfausted down, but I'm obviously too preoccupied with other things. Plus, I don't have enough munitions for all those Pantherfaust machines that get warmed up here, or wiped out by the sheer swarm of infantry and support weapons. Chaffee, and here we got marked target from him using his battle group abilities there. So that's a machine gun there seized by my opponent. And we got the Stug in the south here being swarmed by the Chaffee and the Greyhound team, and the other Stug's trying to assist, but it's too late. And we got the Chaffee on the flank here. Situation is going very rapidly pear-shaped here. Rear hit ends up doing no damage to the Chaffee in a awkward state of affairs there. Opponent there now has 3 machine guns and of course keeps up the blob assault here. Of course my 30 cal now starts to hit back at his blob. Stug there need the repairs. Thankfully he's kind of forgetting about the north there, so I'm able to like just hold that with absolutely no infantry needed or support weapons. Meanwhile, Punisher and the 41st Infantry pulling back their vehicle fleet here, the 2 Chaffies and the 1 Greyhound. As I'm, of course, now left to figure out, like, what exactly am I supposed to expect? Even more Chaffies? Do I go for more Stooks? Do I just try to go for something bigger? In fact, my opponent here is going for more Chaffies. So yeah, things are about to heat up into a fairly intense armoured battle, but perhaps of a slightly unusual state. South side, 30 going for the southern point here. Bring up my Truppen. Thankfully, gets herself any wipes on my mainline infantry. I've got at least one Grenadier squad out Vetchi 2, in fact, steadily going towards Vetchi 3. Going here for a flank in the 30 cal. Here's my opponent. Does get a bit cocky here, which does allow me to swing around here with the Grenadiers with MP40s and might have a chance of scoring a wipe here on the armor cannon. There we go. Almost there. We do get some artillery called in here by Punisher. 30 cal setting up here, but there you go. Wipes his 30 cal. Then meanwhile, the 30 cal's up in the other. Oh, that's actually an MG42. And he's being mauled here out in the open. Punching up 30 cal, pack 40 here. And there we go. Large fleet here arriving here, or armored platoon here, arriving from Punisher. Almost got the MG42. The gun is pushed back here. Panzer's falling back. Bit too risky to grab the machine gun with the massive amount of vehicles, particularly the Greyhound there. Pack shoots, getting another Stug here. Center, we got Gunny's being swarmed by the Riflemen. And up north here, he does finally commit forces to grab the north as well. They're from me, as I continue to focus perhaps a bit too much in the south. Second Stug ready, and yeah, like, it's just such a high-paced match here. Going up to secure the center. And I'm at this point actually going to go for the Tiger Tank. I typically like to go for the Mechanized Assault Group, but it's just... There's so many Chaffies and a Greyhound. Like, I need more armor, and I need something also longer term bigger than the Chaffies. So I'm kind of like, at this point, or like, you know, making the hard and uncomfortable decision, not having to go for the Mechanized Assault Group, but again to focus on Tigers faster. I do like the Starstorm, I do like the Sturmel, and I do like that Mechanized Assault Group, but right now, it's just not viable. We've got BARs up here as well here. Punisher, of course, increasing the pressure on me. The momentum and the tempo. We've got the guns being up here, being supported by more Grenadiers here. Punisher makes the right decision just to get them out before they get shredded. Pulling back the machine gun and the Panzer Grenadiers, having finally bought some time to grab that one.
Give us a target.
She's concerned again with that massive fleet. Like, I want to try and grab it while he pushes in. That could end up being a waste of manpower anyways. In the center, their troops running into the 30 cal. They're quickly thwarted, and we even got put on them here. Punisher, definitely a big fan of firepower superiority.
Those bastards ain't getting me. We're losing men here.
Catch squad, we've got the Chaffies moving towards in here. Is he going for more? No. 30 cal, well, that, yeah, then before we caught with my 30 cals being flanked by the counter pushback. Got the Stuke moving in. I'm also being a bit cautious about a hard position because, like, you know, I know he's going to try and swarm me at some point, so I'm trying to, like, ensure I don't easily get swarmed here by all of these Chaffies and the Greyhound. It's definitely been an uncomfortable position. There he goes, going here, a tank from the north here through the center, swings around here, pack quad out of position, Stuke's flying away, bouncing shum shots. Terrain here that doesn't work out and end up isolating the Stooks, and there we go. Mark, target again. Grenadiers bring up here. Machine guns arriving. Pack. It's just a complete mess here. Stoke down. And the Chaffies just rely on the speed, the mobility here to just absolutely outmaneuver the Stooks here and wreck them. They didn't even get the Greyhound. A devastating assault here. Harsh push here from Punisher. Leaving just really with only the infantry. And there you go. We got artillery called in by the captain on the Pack 40 here. Chaffies and Greyhound just all escape. Center troops moving up here. Grenadier advancing. And of course, we still have the MG42 then Service of Freedom and Democracy, giving me a hell of a headache. And the Pack 40 here, I accidentally moved right into it as well because, yeah, not the smartest move by a long shot. And that means the Pack crew gets utterly exterminated. Weasel 30 caliber weapon partner gun is in the center. I do flank the MG42, I do push it back, which will allow me to perhaps get back the Pack 40. Meanwhile, the entire armored platoon is falling back, and now we got a whiz-bang out here of Punisher. Highly unorthodox play in that sense. But considering it's up against opponent mostly, you know, infantry and support weapons, having something that can splatter out there does make sense, and there you go. There's only one rocket here. Clearly we're trying to catch my Grenadiers, but as soon as they moved, he sort of lost the purpose. But I did take out here the ground with the Pantherfires. He got a bit too keen, and that did allow me to punish him here with one burned out husk of a Greyhound. Meanwhile, back here, reinforcing. Again, I'm definitely planning for the Tiger, but at this point, there's a part of me that's like, you know, slightly overestimating how fast I can get to the Tiger tank. So I'm, instead of like, you know, really should be going for Stukes, I'm holding out for the Tiger tank here. This is actually a significant strategic mistake, because in the end, though, like, you know, I do need the Stukes to have a chance against the Chaffies before, you know, they overwhelm me, in particular now with the whiz-bang out there. It becomes much harder to just form up a defense here cohesively. Steady push into the south side again, sneak in some forces northwards. I do have 2 machine guns, even if both of them are 30 cals.
The adversary is trying to take one of our points.
Ground squads the 30 cal here in the south. Got the MD-47 to fire on my 30 cal. Definitely an odd turn of events here. The Germans have got more American machine guns. The Americans got German machine guns. Grenade assault in the bunch of infantry there by the Church of St. Alan Pachino. There go, right into the midst here. The losses are not in particularly intense, but the damages. I wonder if he did research more health. He did not. He has gone for the infantry support center. Chaffee's getting ready again for the next push. Up north, 30 cal are being sent northwards, straight to my 30 cal. Plus a grenade squad on the flank. I've yet to suffer any infantry wipes though, which is, I think, still very good. Probably the one thing that's still keeping this fight is just the amount of infantry I got and managed to keep alive. Rushing for the Weasel, counterfasting it, almost got it there, heavily damaged. The engine's on fire, the crew's panicking, but there you go. Send in the Chaffies, the cavalry has arrived here for Punish in the north. And I try to sort of ignore them, but you can sort of do some damage. I do actually get the Weasel here, so even with the arrival of the cavalry, the Weasel is done for. And we got the whiz-bang moving in very aggressively here from Punisher. Perhaps it was a misclick. Perhaps he had some really mean plans. It's hard to say there. Either way, the whiz-bang is forced to reconsider those plans. Yeah, again, I'm floating reach because there's this part of my mind that's like, yes, I'm going to get the Tiger tank soon. And, you know, at some point, you know, I'm going to get hit by that realization. Oh, yeah, the Tiger tank's going to require a lot more for me to get out there. And there you go, whiz-bang barrage there, right through the buildings here. Trying to take out my grenadiers. Instead, he mostly takes out some poor bastard's house. And there you go. At this stage, you're going to realize, hang on, trying to hold up for, again, the Tiger right now is absolutely madness. And I start pushing out for more Stukes because, you know, I will need some. And we got ourselves another Chaffee. That means 4 Chaffies now. And a whiz-bang here from Punisher. And the 41st Division. You've got Weasels here. A Chaffee swarming the Pack 40 backed up on of infantry. First Duke, though, is right around the corner. 30 cals being hauled in here to deal with those Americans. As I frantically try to stabilize my front line and just buy time. I do still have a good victory point lead here. And the Digra Panzer is moving up a strong force here that, of course, should be spread out before it hits the front line. First Stück has arrived. Of course, adding the Pinland Maschinengewehren. Second one halfway done. But certainly there is some exciting engaging all these Chaffies with the Stüks because you'll just swarm them if I'm not careful, as we saw earlier. So it definitely creates some intense moments for me. As I need the Stüks, but at the same time, he just has so many Chaffies that one mistake there. And like, I'm going to lose them with just one very aggressive move. I could be in a lot of trouble. But there you go, second Sturmgeschütz ready. Panzer's being bombarded by the Chaffies. Also a bit of support fire there from the whiz-bang and his hull machine gun. Second Stück up towards the center, and I'm going for a third Stück because against all these Chaffies, I will absolutely need as many Stüks as humanly as possible if I want even a remote chance. That's it. The infantry is still proving to be at least somewhat helpful for me, allowing me to push for better map control here. Probably at this point, I have gone for the medical station. Very good. We need some healing for some of those Panzergrenadiere. 30 cal setting up here. Shot in the center. Pioneers rushing in. Sandbags on the center. Whiz-bang moving up, and it's going to utterly try and obliterate my Pioneers there. And there's a good chance the Pioneers will get wiped. Yep. Full wipe there from the whiz-bang. E moving his 30 cals there. Well, 8 30 cal and MD42. We got another 30 cal there. He's just churning them out. Well, he has churned them out with the Weasel. I don't know if he's going for weapon support centers, so pretty much all the 30 cals he has are very much all Weasel induced.
Pioneers standing by.
Fresh Pioneer squad out. Of course, I could consider the Pentagon the officer quarters just for the veterans on the Stooks. They get a bit more rotation amongst other things. Acceleration, but also accuracy. That's going to be 3 Stooks then versus 4 Chaffies. And meanwhile, I'm now pushing just for as much fuel control as I can, in part because, you know, the more fuel I have, the more likely I'm going to be able to call in the Tiger tank once it arrives. Meanwhile, big push with our squad infantry scouting around to the triple Stoogs. Chaffee's here setting up shop on the left flank. And there's still more up back at base here, so he could launch a pinch maneuver up north though. Pentagon's Grenadiers catch the Ralph squads here, port on them, being focused on the Pentagon Grenadiers, which does allow my MP40 Grenadiers to close in and turn the tables here, and the otherwise not too veteran riflemen. Meaning even I actually have the advantage here. And this is one of the reasons why I do, like, you know, go for the infantry officer quarters when I go for, like, a lot of MP40 Grenadiers, because it does help you push in a bit of extra veterancy versus those part riflemen. And if you can sort of do that, you typically can find your MP40 Grenadiers can actually perform somewhat well until the riflemen catch up. So if they hit veterancy fairly fast, then they do become fairly resilient, but still also having a good damage output. Chaffee's rushing northwards here. Panthers the northern one. One Chaffee by waiting veterancy too. Getting the Stooks in there in the centre. We've got 30 calibers the Grenadiers. Usually moving out. South side, we still got the 30 cal there. And we got the heading northwards. Pack, I think, got destroyed actually there by Punisher. Rolling in the Sturmgeschütze. On the other hand, I am now starting to go towards the possibility of a Tiger tank here versus Punisher. Command points wise at least. Manpower fuel wise, obviously going to take a bit longer. Also now a slightly better chance of finding with triple Stooks. That said, the question is, what does my opponent do next? Does he try and take out for armor? Does he just churn out more Chaffies? It's a bit hard to say here what exactly Punisher's plan now is. Yep, rolling in with the under 6 Stook platoon towards the north. Around the center there. The south here, Pun's running to a massive blob. It looks like he actually kind of forgot about, which is pretty good for me. Not as many kills as I would have expected there, but at least a lot of damage. That does force him to retreat, to withdraw. Stooks falling a bit back here. And overall just, you know, focusing on pressure here. Once I recover from that initial shot from all those Chaffies, I do try to, you know, again retain the offensive momentum. And try to, like, decide the engagements. But now he's going on the offensive himself, counter-attacking with the Chaffies. About to see a rather large, but also again unusual tank battle, like multiple Chaffies versus multiple Stooks. And he's swarming in here. The Stooks are doing with the counter, turning around to the corner gunners for the Pantherfast here. There we go, damaging one of the Chaffies here, proving a crucial moment here as it slightly takes off some of the sharp edge and momentum off the Chaffee swarm here. Stooks pushing in now for the Chaffies. Perhaps it's a bait, perhaps it's not, but I can catch one of the Chaffies here, and there we go. Seizing the opportunity here, and the momentum, he swarms forwards here. One of the Stooks got caught out of formation. He goes for it, but no, he also goes for the other Stooks. There we go, that's another Chaffee down here. Chaffies are being lit up now. A Stook goes down. Artillery firing down. We got the whiz-bang firing at the Stook by the Church of St. Al Pachino. Patron saint of little friends everywhere. Absorbs most of the hits here. A true miracle. Grenades off here in the Stook. Almost got it. Stook going in here. Almost got it, but no, there's too much info now about. And another Stook gets blown apart by the Chaffee shooting through the hedges. Grenadiers are going for the Chaffee with a Pantherfaust. Damaging the engine of the Chaffee. Sneaks in a shot on the Stook, but the shot flies off the frontal armor. We got their veteran team with Ralph squad up close here. Flamethrowers joining in. Chaffee there trying to get away here. Whiz-bang rolling in. But I got the command points now for the Tiger tank. I almost have the manpower. It's actually the fuel right now. That's the major point of contention here. 30 cal setting up, punts pushing forwards. We've got the whiz-bang though. And the Grenadiers here took out the Chaffee with one last Pantherfaust. Meaning Punisher has now lost all of his Chaffies in one cataclysmic engagement here.
Frontline report. The enemy has set
And I lost only 2 Stoogs. Of course, the defining factor wasn't part just of this grenadiers having some infantry support from my assault guns, which in the previous engagement, I really didn't have. So there's a good lesson for you, Kinder. You're seeing their force back. Still, he did get the center, but with at least 1 Stoog operable, I do have a chance, and of course a soon inbound Tiger tank to have a chance staging something more of a comeback.
enemy forces have claimed our territory.
He is, of course, also forced to spread out because he's fairly low on victory points.
Victory point is under enemy
That
control.
also gives me a bit more room in the longer run here. That said, I will need Pioneers to replace the ones that got murdered again to fix up my Stoog, but at the same time, with the Tiger tank being such a big priority, I actually have to wait with the Pioneers because I really want that Tiger tank out. There's also, of course, the part of me that's like worried, like, is he just going to keep churning up Chaffies against me with marked target? Is he planning for Hellcats, Shermans?
Victory point is under
Apparently the
enemy
answer is
control.
just more Chaffies. Lots more Chaffies. Which, of course, with the Tiger tank will perform fairly well, I'm fairly certain. As long as they don't get swarmed with marked target.
Secured our territory.
There you go, Captain being pursued, but now both Ace Grenadiers with MP40s. Almost got the Captain here. Last man gets away, still got the whiz-bang moving up here though. And I just retreat. I'm obviously not going to risk it with the whiz-bang, or for that matter, the 30 cal. Meanwhile, larger wave here moving forwards. Northwards, 30 cal's punches moving in.
Territory capture is
Breakthrough being
prioritized.
pushed. And I'm actually trying to flank around through here and get behind him that way.
300 points.
One of the reasons I do like Pachino Stalemate is there's this element of like outmaneuvering and outflanking much more than say on other maps.
Pioneers are reporting for duty.
That's one reason I do like this map a lot. It does open up for some fun stuff. Plus, of course, some pretty intense matches. So that's up to 2 Chaffies again. Whiz-bang moving up here. Machine gun there. Being swarmed. And finally, Tiger has been released here from the 4th Schwere Panzerabteilung. Relinquishing one of its precious Tiger tanks to support the 15th Panzer Grenadier shown here in this intense, bloody battle in the heart of Pachino. Of course, at this point, I could consider going for the Mechanized Assault Group to maybe call in some Starstorm. Whiz-bang firing into my base here. Probably what he wanted to do all the time, but sort of was a bit too scared to do. Tiger tank always takes out the whiz-bang, but it does get away. 30 cal rushing into the 30 cal. Tiger tanking through the center here of Pachino, the main road up north. Grenadiers pushing back. Chaffee's falling back as well here. And of course, it will be interesting to see how exactly will he react to the grab of the Tiger tank when he just has 2 Chaffies to, you know, try and stop it. Stoog pushing forwards there. Almost fully repaired. Got the other 30 cal carrying the southern point. Rifleman advancing, 30 cal caught with the Americano, and they're out in the open. Stoog pushing forwards. There we got the Tiger tank up for the center, backed up by infantry, plenty, and got a point blank blast here. Right into them, and they just countless riflemen drop dead. Stoog achieving their T2 here. Chaff is going for the tender flank of the Stoog, but the Stoog is narrowly able to avoid this. He sends in both Chaffee, Stoog there. Heavily damaged Tiger tank, trying to hold ours out of there, but it's too late for the Stoog. And the Stoog goes up in flames. And the Tiger tank's pathing gets a bit weird.
Has been plagued by enemy fire.
I'm not entirely sure what happened there, but yeah, I was trying to send it down here, but it just kind of gets a bit confused, unfortunately.
Nobody's got a Panzerbüchse! Nobody!
Chaffee's wreaking absolute hell there. Gunny's trying to get that field point. Tiger tank turning around finally. Again, I have no idea what happened there with the pathing. I typically don't have massive issues with the pathing in Communist 3, at least for me compared to Communist 2, it's still a lot more benign. Obviously there are issues, but that one was just one of those really like just, what on earth just happened there? Was the driver drunk? Ach my god, Jürgen got into the schnapps! But he's a recovering alcoholic, yeah I know, he still got into the schnapps!
We are down to 250 points.
Who knew the Italians would have so much schnapps? I thought they didn't like this stuff. North Fiat 30 cal there being pushed back with the captain's artillery barrage. Well, of course, the Grenadiers here, others rushing forwards here. Hoping to get lucky here, but yeah, that didn't quite happen. Almost, though, almost. But not quite. Tiger tank there waiting some light repairs. All rather being put forward here. Worth noting, while he has gone for spec ups, he's only by now gone for any commandos. That's a bit of a surprise. They kind of figured to go for those commandos a bit sooner. But he has researched like the extra upgrades there for increased durability in infantrymen by now. So they are a bit tougher overall. Tiger tank's good to go. Panzer Grenadier pushing forwards. And again, I could consider like something like a mechanized assault group just providing with extra elite infantry and the half-track to provide support either as a Sturm or just regular. Whizbang being pushed northwards, going to the northern point here. Keeping up the victory point pressure on my opponent. There you go. Whizbang going for the Grenadiers here. Trying to get them out of there, and they run straight into every rocket and get wiped. Talk about some awful luck. Tiger engaging the Chaffies. First shot is a complete whiff, but the Tiger's armor holds true against the Chaffies. And you can see he can pretty much just two-shot them. Blitzkrieg here since, well, I want those Chaffies dead. I've had enough of all these goddamn Chaffies and this goddamn Pachino Stalemate. In the south here, third account's about to get flanked by the Grenadiers. Handler's pinned down. Tiger tank going for the flank in there. Go lands a great hit, leaving several American infantrymen dead in the dirt here. Of Pachino. More shots off here. Tiger tank veterans who won. No mercy. Keine Gnade. He's rushing in here. Flanking the 30 cal. Going for more Panzer Grenadiers. When again, I easily could have just gone for mechanized assault group, honestly. Go for another Stug. Obviously going for the mechanized assault group to delay the Stug, but I feel like a mechanized assault group still being a pretty good addition at some point here. Third Council Germany actually discarded the rocket pod on his whiz-bang. Like, I was actually surprised at this. I was like, wait, when did he get a show? And then looked at the icons like, wow, he actually discarded the, you know, the rocket launcher. Like, it's an option with the Veterans 1 ability, but it's not something you typically see unless, like, you're desperate, like, you realize, okay, I need a tank badly no matter what. And I think that's sort of the moment here Punisher's kind of, like, hit is like, oh, god damn, I need a tank bad. So he basically sacrifices Whizbang just to have a regular Sherman. Certainly indicating here that I'm actually, like, you know, putting him in a tough spot now. Chaffee's though rushing straight to the center right of the Panthers and crucially the Tiger tank here. Great shot there, Chaffee there. Oh, yeah, not great here for him, but for me it's amazing as I do leave another Chaffee burning here on the roads of Pachino. Sturmgeschütz ready here. And he's flanking up behind here, catching the anti-tank crew here. No sign really of much else here, though, of course, the anti-tank indicate he's, of course, you know, you realise he needs something a bit more punchy there than the Chaffies against a Tiger tank, unless he gets a lot of Chaffies. And I'm guessing he's kind of like heading at this point in terms of resources where he cannot afford a lot of Chaffies. Meanwhile, Sherman tank from the side, Chaffee from the other. Tiger tank shoots, misses, but the Sherman keeps at it. Stug, they're getting hit by the rear by the Sherman, but the Tiger tank just turns its gun and lands a hell of a hit on the a whiz-bang. Another Stug on the way for me. I'm just going to churn out Stugs because at this point I'm still concerned about a sudden swarm of Chaffies. So I need the Stugs to like cover the Tiger tank in case of a spontaneous Chaffee swarm. North here, Panzer being mauled up here, need to retreat. Almost got the anti-tank crew here though. Tiger tank there, so close to T2. Another Stug out. Rifleman rushing for the center. 25 points left, there's only 29 here. Battery 2 achieved for the Tiger crew. Nice shot there. We got the Stugs lining up to support the Tiger tank. Almost got that 30 cal crew. We got the rifle going for the target tank here. Stuke up support.
All victory points.
All victory points being held here though by Punisher. He does not give up here. No matter how bleak things may appear.
Commandant, you have CPs available.
Phantom's going to need setting up, machine backing up here as well. 199 out of 75 here. I need to get those victory points fast. Moving forward into the anti-tank, got the target tank which will flank that. There we go. Tiger tank clears up the anti-tank gun easily. 30 cal, whiz bang in the center here. More support being rushed towards the commandos on the move here. Tiger tank pushed towards the center. He's got the Stooks in the south backing up machine gun here. Pioneers being rushed forwards. Just a lot of action here. We got the Gunniers flanking up behind all of this here, going for the Engineers, the 3rd Cal's flank, and the whiz-bang. And up north, push forwards here with another Panzer squad. He misses the rifleman with the rifleman there. 3rd Cal cleared out in the south here, though. The main offensive would appear is for Punisher, as he just commits everything towards us on the victory point. Up north here, whiz-bang gets away from the target tank. Well, former whiz-bang, now just Sherman. Commandos routed, 30 cal there, holding up against the American assault here. 48 versus 25 here. Stuke's about to get wrecked, got the northern point, got the center, got the south. He's popping his own capturability, by the way. Stuke blown up. In the center, rifle being annihilated, 30 cal seized here. 48 versus 21. Infantry rushing at the Stuke here. Tiger tank being sent southwards. Chaffee Sherming sent forward. Chaffee only back here. 5 points left too, and that's it. So GG, game over. An absolute hell of a match here. Certainly went a lot more explosive than I figured it was. I was definitely not anticipating when I looked up this match. I had brains like, you know, multiple Chaffies like that, and I was definitely not quite ready for it. Definitely gave me a shock. They took me a bit to recover, but then of course when I did, I was able to like handle it better. And of course, the crucial part was just making sure my Stooks did have some kind of near support with Pantherfaust, at which point suddenly the Chaffies did lose a bit of the edge. But you know, very aggressive stuff here. Aiming in the 30 cals was definitely also fairly annoying for me to deal with, as he just like, you know, could snowball over me at times. Very unexpected as well, very tough. I really haven't seen many players, you know, use the Weasel 30 cals like that, but you know, he went pretty much all in on it with I think 3 30 cals out of that, and they proved to be quite effective, though just as much for me as for him. But yeah, overall, really intense match, a lot of back and forth again. I would like to maybe see for himself a mechanized assault group at some point for some stars to him. That could have helped out a bit as well there. Obviously not against the Chaffies, but you know, all the stuff supporting them. So, hope you enjoyed this match. I learned something from it. If you did subscribe, like, share, comment, consider supporting the Propagandacast by donating or pledging on Patreon. Links in the description. You can also buy the game if you haven't done that by linking in the comments using the code STUK3G. So thank you for joining in, and see you all tomorrow for a nice episode. Bye everyone.